I switched from my old workflow to one built around AI tools. This is quite a bit lighter and faster. I spend less time fixing code and more time making things that actually matter. So you might have noticed there's been a lot less code talk around here. And to be honest with you, I'm more excited about what I can build with AI than talking about code itself. We live in a time where programming is just so good right now that to me it's just not that exciting anymore. I have an AI setup that really works for me. It's dialed in, I like it. However, I do feel that it is my responsibility to share information about what's working for me and how I'm using these tools day to day so you can make an informed decision what makes sense for your own workflow. As you are trying to up your production value of your client projects and more so just sharing what's working for me when it comes to my larger projects, because every week I find something new, something that makes my process smoother using AI. And because I just upgraded to this workflow and I've had it for 5 months now and I've been using it, I've been liking it. I thought it was time to share some of my thoughts on the AI for programming. As I've been kind of shifting into AI assisted programming and my GCWM content of doing coding projects, kind of building on my own frameworks. So back when Codex came out, I asked ChatGPT if I could test it with my development setup because I was really just writing small scripts, Swift, Kotlin, even a few shell automations. That's kind of how it started. I just wanted to automate tiny things. And then one day I tried using Codex for my iOS app code besides from Xcode. And I wanted to try something smaller in the kit, but I didn't expect much. I thought it would just autocomplete a line or two, but when it finished an entire data model with proper structure and error handling, I was genuinely surprised. Now, I don't know if it was like the newness and the exciting of having something different, like it actually understood what I meant, but that moment really changed everything. Then I upgraded. I moved to GPT-5 with Xcode 26. I really love this smaller setup for my specifically larger projects with no need of any integration. I can write, test, and refactor code without leaving Xcode. I have GPT-5 connected through a local shortcut. When I highlight a block of code, hit Command G, it opens GPT, sends context, and give back suggestions. It's like having another senior dev sitting quietly beside me, fixing stuff while I keep thinking. But because I wanted something smarter, I went for the programming using AI. As you can see, there are now two tools for mobile app development, which are quite different in responsibilities. In fact, this Codex is almost the entire coding partner of this development setup. So why did I choose Codex over anything else? First of all, obviously, productivity. I went with the AI over the typing complete code in IDE because I work across languages, Swift, Kotlin, PHP, Objective-C, and switching between them was always messy. And by the way, Codex made that process seamless. I type in English, it writes in code. Second, it was a lot cheaper. I could basically cover the cost of this from my own pocket, and that's what I did. I focus on architecture, structure, planning. AI understands my habit, my style, my naming conventions, and I also wanted to use this for planning as well and to get more projects. I will explain everything in later videos, like how I use it to get more projects, finish them, and earn more money. If you watch this channel, you will be a part of this successful journey. I always bring it with me when I am deep in projects. Multiple repos, build scripts, API tests. I bring my AI setup to catch its bugs before compile. Like when I work solo, it helps me carry that weight. And when I'm with a team, it becomes that quiet assistant that never argues and never takes a break. And that combination is usually the terminal-based Codex for assisting and the native IDE to manage all the code base. They are a perfect combo in hand. Productivity is another reason why I always carry AI with me. When my to-do is filled and I am working solo, for example, having two really complex tasks in the sprint, plus a whole set of other tasks, when all of it is in the calendar and I'm working solo without AI, then it also makes it a lot easier when me and AI are coding together. It doesn't make sense how much tasks I have because I can break it into two resources and that's fine. But when I'm solo, it is just too much to carry all the tasks alone. AI is a machine. It doesn't feel deadlines or panic, but that's the point. It's consistent. It's there at 3 a.m. when I'm debugging a cache log that makes no sense. I tell it, explain this exception in Swift, and it makes me through a call stack like a mentor. That's why I keep it close. People ask, why don't you just code everything yourself? And yeah, I could, but that's not the point anymore. AI lets me focus on the logic, the design, the experience, not just the syntax. It's like editing a film. You don't shoot everything, you direct. Some cons to the GPT is that there is no direct integration into Android Studio, the same as Xcode 26 that I have on my laptop. First thing I noticed and that I still struggle with is the lack of direct access from within the studio. That's something I really like when I'm picking up any function from Xcode to review and change it into my own style. I can just use that side panel. So now I've had to kind of figure out a different way of doing that in Android Studio. I don't really use that copy paste method on these functions, but I have to start using it on this because that lack of direct integration for Android side. And it kind of worked out because the terminal variant of the Codex is set off to the left and it is a little bit of a smarter way to do that. So holding it to the left to my screen, I'm not doing that as much, whereas mostly I'm kind of picking up code and ask GPT to convert it according to my requirements and review it as well. So I can kind of go to my project directory in terminal and type here Codex to start Codex shell for my project. So I'm still getting used to that. It has been a little bit of a struggle, but it's fine. Otherwise, there's still lots of options. We can do the same within Android Studio. They provide the terminal over here, but it's not that I recommend it mostly. Prompts are my presets. I have pre-typed ones saved for different tasks. It's like muscle memory, but for thoughts. AI helps around Studio. I use it for XML refactors, sensor testing, manifest checks. When I build device-specific modules, I ask GPT to mock data response, each one structured like a mini template. I drop them in, tweaks a few lines, and get results instantly. It saves ORs. Then I drop them into a test directory and run automated validations. That's the sweet spot. AI for the thinking, me for the doing. One other downside is that there's always a little risk with code quality when you let AI take over too much. When I'm working on larger projects, I like to have full control over the structure and logic because when AI runs wild, it starts to generate this generic code like, everything works, but it's missing that touch, the little details that make it feel like my code. Typically, when I'm building something serious, I let AI handle the repetitive stuff like model creation, boilerplates, and utility functions, and then I step in to refine it. That balance keeps the workflow clean. If I'm writing tests, I'll have AI scaffold the test cases, but always review them manually because that's where subtle bugs love to hide. But overall, I've been impressed. As long as I give clear instructions like purpose, input, output, and expected flow, it feels like it nails it every time. AI doesn't make me lazy, it just speeds up everything else. And now, this is not sponsored, not by OpenAI, not by Apple, not by anyone. I just use what works. If something stops being efficient, I drop it. If a better model comes out tomorrow, I'll switch. There's no loyalty here, just results. I think that's how tools should be used anyway. If it helps me build better, faster, cleaner, it stays. If not, it's gone. Simple as that. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. Like, what do your client think when they find out you use AI? And I really don't think they care what we're using in terms of project delivered as long as the output is good. And I also really don't care about code being written by me plus AI plus 4 cups of coffee at 2 a.m. They just want their product to work. They want it to look good, run smooth, and ship on time. And they're happy if it works. And I like it that way because it lets me choose tools that makes my workflow better. If that means AI is helping me build faster, then that's what I'll use. I'm more concerned about efficiency and output than how traditional it looks like from outside. One of those things has to do with large-scale AI programming. I almost have to keep using AI for another 6 months through multiple projects, builds to really see how it performs long-term. Like how stable is AI when you feed it bigger context? How does it handle Swift builds under load? What happens when I throw Android native code and sensors at it in the same session? So far, no issues. Everything runs smooth, but who's to say that's going to stay the same once I started pushing it harder, especially when I move it into the production environment and larger team builds. Time will tell, but honestly, it's been getting me to code more, and that's huge because the whole reason I started using AI was to stop wasting time setting things up and let's see it. Lately, I've been posting some of that works over on the same channel, more AI automation stuff, prompt experiments, workflow tests, and keeping that separate from my main content. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this weird AI video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.